Hey, what is up guys? Guitar Rock here, welcome back to another Blue Archive video. So let's talk about this week's patch. There's going to be a couple of interesting things happening, but I would urge you guys to save because we're gonna have the idol characters coming later on. So let's talk about it, right? So as you can see, we are going to be having a couple of reruns. Swimsuit Azusa, Swimsuit Mashiro, both of it are right here happening. Alright, alongside with that, Swimsuit Hifumi. These three, Swimsuit Hifumi is going to be standard. These two are limited. Now, if you care about limited, sure, their value could be there. But in terms of meta, Swimsuit Azusa and Swimsuit Mashiro are probably not going to be the top tier anymore. They can be used occasionally still. They're not like irrelevant, but for most players, I don't think you want to like get them unless you have plenty of funds or you're not there for the meta specifically. Now next up, we got Yukari, Renji, and Kikyou. Now this one is also going to be very interesting. I do think that Kikyou is going to be a very good character if you're trying to tackle Kurokage. Now that being said, they are going to also have the Kurokage Urban Warfare right there. As you can see, that's going to basically go alongside with that. Oof, there's firecrackers happening outside my house. Okay, so Swimsuit Azusa, let's talk a little bit more about her. Azusa and Mashiro. How good are these two characters alongside with Hifumi as well? As you can see, these three are going to first having a rerun for 1 week, right? So you only have 1 week to make the decision. So I do have both of these characters built, so I can basically give you guys a better insight as well in terms of how relevant they are in the meta. So Swimsuit Azusa, believe it or not, is one of the few characters that I first maxed out in the game. And I'm talking about like every single stats, right? In terms of like max, and I currently have her at UE 40. So back then it was max because T8 was the highest, but now you can see T9 has already unlocked. So as far as I know, if you care about Mystic AoE, she is going to be very good. But there's also going to be better options now that, for example, Wakamo, alright, and also like I think with Swimsuit Hoshino and then with Shiroko Terra as well. So there's plenty more Mystic options right now compared to before, right? Before those two came out, there's less options. So now we have way more options. There's really no need for you to get Swimsuit Azusa. Now I do get that she can do chill damage. That's like a form of DOT over time, right? Can be cool in some situations. Maybe that will be useful later on against Chokma, right? But for now, I feel like other than that, she's probably going to be less used comparatively. She is still going to be pretty good for her sub skill. Alright, I like this particular skill. If you just need her to decrease defense occasionally, she can do that, right? And decrease defense as a passive is always going to be very beneficial. Now, if you want to get like one meta students, I would say she's probably going to be the most used one out of all the bunch, right? Compared to Swimsuit Mashiro. Swimsuit Mashiro is also going to be decent. Back then, she was one of the few PvP targets to basically use to tackle Tsubaki. Tsubaki is very annoying, and she can one-shot Tsubaki because of a high accuracy, right? She has this particular sub-skill, but accuracy is strong against enemies that can have high evasion. Other than that, it's way more niche, right? As you can see as well, this one is going to decrease evasion and also deals burst damage at 4 cost. Now, not bad if you're looking for a single target special character, but again, still way more niche compared to a lot of other students, right? In terms of raid bosses, you're probably not going to need her as much. So if you're pulling for that, I feel like she's mostly just a PvP character. But even now, there's better options like Iroha and stuff, right? Now, next up is going to be Swimsuit Hifumi, standard banner character, which again, I do not recommend. Where is she? She's going to be one of the few characters that is going to be really hard to use. I think a lot of players just don't really build her, and also she is going to be very expensive, as you can see, right? 10 cost, maybe usable in some situations, mostly in the Fury of Set, but other than that, 10 cost is just not going to be usable in regular battle. But she did get buffed in her unique item recently, if you care about that. But regardless, let's talk about the next one. Alright, that's going to be the week after. We got Yukari, we got Renji, and we got Kikyou. Now, I'm going to be honest, I feel like Kikyou is probably going to be the better one out of all of this bunch. Now, Yukari, Renji, not too bad if you obtain them, but if you want to use them in Kurokage, you basically need to like UE. I mean, you need to 5-star them. Can be a bit expensive. Kikyou is going to be my recommendation. Now, the best meta character right now for Kurokage, if you're talking about the purple variant, is going to be her, right? She's going to be the main DPS. So Swimsuit Hanako, she's not going to be replaceable, right? Because she's 2 cost. It's just the cost to damage ratio is just insanely high, alright, compared to any other Sonic type students, right? So by far, the main DPS has to be her. So if you don't have her yet, you should be saving for her, not trying to pull any of these like secondary or third characters, right? As in terms of Kikyou, she's pretty strong, alright? She is not going to be the main DPS though. She's much more of a supportive character for Swimsuit Hanako. So her role is to decrease defense of the enemy, right? And also to give you cost regen, increase Sonic effectiveness, and then she has this particular thing that can reduce the EX skills. She does this Furin Kazan thing, right? And then when she consumes 3 Furin Kazan, she will be able to decrease EX skill by 1. Alright, very broken in that sense. But I do like her. She's quite budget friendly. You don't really need to 5-star her to be able to perform in most of the raids. And yeah, big fan of Kikyou for sure. I highly recommend if you can obtain one and you care about meta in longevity, probably Kikyou makes more sense because she will probably be staple in Kurokage. I don't see her leaving the meta comms in Kurokage alongside with Swimsuit Hanako. You use them two together, right? So those two are probably going to be someone that you'll see being used a lot. Now, should you pull any of them though? Like, let's be honest, right? Despite Kikyou being very useful in meta, should you actually pull for her? That depends on you if you care about the characters coming right after. Because right after Kikyou and Renji, if we are to following the JP schedule, Idol Mary, Idol Sakurako, these two is going to come out afterwards. So you can see this is going to be literally 1 week after. This is going to be the limited characters. Now Idol Mary and Idol Sakurako, I've talked about them multiple times before. Very good, very strong meta student. You should definitely consider them. They are going to be a very good viable option for a lot of players. I highly recommend if you haven't built your, especially if you haven't built your what is that character, Kokona, you can definitely prioritize her, right? So the truth is, Idol Sakurako is also quite unique. I do think that the value of this banner is going to be higher than the other ones, right? As much as I do think Kikyou is going to be pretty good, the truth is, she is still in the standard banner. You can still spook her. Now as for these two, they're not being used in most of the regular raids, alright? They used to be used in Shirokuro last time, but yeah, these two are definitely going to be less used. So in terms of pulling priorities, definitely, if you care about meta, you might want to consider skipping all of these just to be safe and get the idol students instead. So that is going to be the advice, right? As for the rest of this, we're also going to get the Balancing Shields books. Alright, so we got all of these as you can see with the event schedule, we get plenty of cool stuff. Make sure you guys are doing this, right? This one, you're just basically stacking the event. We're gonna have joint firing drill as well later on, okay? Kurokage is going to come in a Grand Assault form. Alright, so that means 3 separate elements. So Grand Assault, we're gonna have Torment for Elastic. What are the other two, right? So we're gonna have Light Armor, Special Armor, and Elastic Armor. So that's going to be quite interesting. Alright, so if you are looking to tackle any of these, alright, so that means red, blue, purple. Alright, we're gonna leave out the yellow. I mean, if we ever have yellow Kurokage, I think Nonomi is gonna shine right there, right? That's going to be pretty much what it is. As for special armor, probably going to be Hoshino or Ji-san is going to shine right there. In terms of light armor, you can probably rely on Hina, alright? The regular Hina probably going to shine right here because it's urban as well. So either borrow that, that's going to be a good option for most people. Alright, as you can see, new mission Area 27 will be added as well. That's going to be pretty cool. And we are going to be able to obtain this one, the Cafe Facilities Core. So make sure you guys are pushing to upgrade your cafe later on. Double drops as well. So that's going to be happening as per usual, alongside with scrimmage double rewards, and of course double drops normal. So yeah, overall a pretty chill patch. Alright, so if you are going to pull, make sure you guys think carefully. Still highly recommend you guys to get the idol students. If you guys haven't already, subscribe to the channel, give this video a like, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Have a nice day. Goodbye.